Hey, welcome back to another vinyl review video. Today I'll be looking at Neck Deep's third album, The Peace and the Panic. Now first of all, I want to about the artwork. It's designed by Ryan Besh in a style that kind of has this 50s pop art inspired look, representing the title The Peace and the Panic, with one side being this kind of tranquil, normal looking American city setting, whilst on the other side is under complete destruction, with a person walking on a tightrope between the two extremes. The band's logo is in a strong red colour scheme, and I quite like how the blues are used as the highlights here and how they kind of follow the curvature of the text, giving this overall kind of 3D effect. Now onto the back cover. The track listing here follows the same colour scheme as the front with the use of red and blues, whilst the artwork this time shows the front of this character's face, showing that he's actually responding to these two extremes in a completely polar opposite way, in a way we wouldn't think he would, possibly referencing and implying the instability of his mental state whilst also referencing the overall themes of the album. The record comes in a gatefold sleeve, and it takes advantage of the larger format by showcasing more of Ryan's illustrations here, with each one representing each of the 11 tracks. I like how there's this kind of almost graphic novel, comic book strip style look to it, which is also a reference to the pop art style, with the speech bubbles and the way it kind of looks like a sequence of events, like it's telling a story, and also like the way there's a reference to Ben's late father. The sleeve that houses the record features the lyrics and credits on either side, and it also includes a download card. This is the record itself. It is on a 12-inch white with black and red heavy splatter. It's the Panic Bundle exclusive, limited to 1,000 pressings. And now onto the track list. The first song on side A, Motion Sickness. This one kicks off the album fast and loud with a title track with catchy melodies and lyrics that not only refer to the band's progression up to this point, but also encourages the listener not to give up on whatever journey that they're on, and I think this is a perfect way to sort of set the vibe for the record. The second song, Happy Judgment Day, doesn't stop this energetic nature of the album. It's a song that covers more serious topics and tones which are more relevant, as well as covering how uncivilized and complicated the world has become, and funny enough it's still super relevant to this day. The Grand Delusion is a song where I think the artwork is captured really well here, with the absolute destruction, the instability, the struggle, the madness, and also the way Ben's vocals in the actual song itself exclaims his struggles with his mental state and the discomfort that follows. Parachute acts as a nice transition before the song In Bloom, with the slightly more relaxed segments of the song conveying the feeling of wanting to find an escape. I also really like the guitars at the last 20 seconds of this track as well. The last track on side A, In Bloom, is easily one of their most distinct tracks off the record and has very quickly become a fan favourite, as well as being one of the more iconic tracks of the discography. I like how in this track it kicks off with this news anchor talking about this fall of an atomic bomb and the immediate after effects, and even though it's just been a couple of days, the world's only just feeling the impacts. I like how that use of imagery and sort of storytelling is a great way to kind of convey the concept of the struggles of losing a loved one and the absolute distraught and ways to overcome that, and how that's everything Ben was feeling during that period. I appreciate how in the second verse there's almost like a uplifting, playful vibe to it, whilst also retaining the honesty and realization, self-awareness of what's actually happening, and also the overarching narrative of how it's important to make sure things happen naturally and organically, as opposed to forcing a certain behavioural outcome, especially when it comes to losing a loved one. The first track on side B, Don't Wait, is probably Neck Deep's heaviest song, with the assistance of Sam Carter from the band Architects. It's clearly a response to the ongoing distrust with government, the state of politics, corruption, and also the importance of not believing everything you hear in the media. Critical Mistake is a song that has quite a playful vibe to it, especially with the rather amusing intro, which I believe was done by Laura Whiteside, who also appeared on the song A Part of Me, along with the rather uplifting feeling acoustic guitar. It's a song that's quite easy to listen to, there's a catchy melody to the chorus, and generally it's just simply a fun, self-aware song about Ben's past failed relationships. The 8th song, Wish You Were Here, is the sad song off the album. It's very self-explanatory, being a very beautiful way to honour and show the appreciation for his late father, expressing the grief of how he wished things could have been different. It's also, like many pop punk songs, makes very good use of acoustic guitar and piano, which complement Ben's vocals really well here, especially in the bridge. Heavy Lies is a love song that kind of has this uplifting vibe to it, especially in the way it kind of starts off drowned out and becomes clearer as the song continues, and then throws you into quite a mellow verse and chorus. The 10th track, 1970 Something, is a song that generally has this feel-good vibe to it, whilst also being a tribute to his late father, telling the story of his parents, celebrating their life, which then comes to the sudden realization of the harsh reality of the day of Terry's passing. Where Do We Go When We Go is the last song off the album, and it's funny enough one of the first songs it released for the record as a single. It's a song that plays with the children's nursery rhyme, replacing the word rain with pain, in a more existential context, reminding the listener to make the most of their life whilst we still have it. Overall, it's an all-round good pop-punk album, carrying on the similar kind of vibe we got from Life's Not To Get You, whilst also approaching songs with more cleaner vocals that suit the overarching theme of loss, dedicating a significant amount of the record to Terry Barlow, as well as not being afraid to entertain more relaxed, softer set of songs, whilst also balancing out with the more aggressive tracks. And that does it for my review of Neck Deep's third album, The Peace and the Panic. If you found this video helpful and enjoyed it in some way, please feel free to show support by liking, commenting, subscribing to my channel, doing the usual, and I'll see you guys in the next video.